If you're wanting to learn more about others' experiences at Camp Margaritaville in Auburndale, Florida, or more about the resort itself, you're going to want to stay tuned in into this video. I'm going to share all about our experience that we had there this past month. We stayed for 7 nights. I'm going to break everything down that we loved and didn't love so much about the resort and what we thought about our experience overall. So before I jump into some footage from the resort itself, I want to preface this review by saying we just recently stayed here for 7 nights. We stayed in February of 2025. It was beautiful weather. I don't think we could have gotten a better February week in or near Orlando. And we paid a little over $1,100, everything tax and everything included in that, for the week stay. So a little on the pricier side, which is expected for Camp Margaritaville Resort, but we're kind of new to RVing and we knew it would be an experience. So we wanted to stay there and experience a Margaritaville RV resort. We've stayed at other Margaritaville resorts, but never an RV resort, which is new for us. There were some pros, there were some cons, not many cons to be honest with you, but we had a great time and it was a great resort. We actually booked it pretty last minute too, so if you're wondering if you need to book it way ahead of time, we did not have that experience. Again, we were there in the winter, so during the summer months it might be different since more people maybe on spring break or summer break are making it down to the Orlando area. We did visit the Universal parks. We did not visit the Disney parks this time. We've been several other times in Orlando, so this time we did just go to Universal. It was about a 45-minute drive to Universal. That was with some Orlando traffic. If you know, there's always traffic in Orlando. And I think the one time we actually went to the park was earlier in the morning, so rush hour. It took almost an hour. So if you're going to the Disney parks, those are a little closer. Universal is a little further away, but still a very convenient location if you are going to Orlando to visit the Disney or Universal parks. So that was really nice. We really loved the location. So I will give it a point for that. I'll also give it a point for grounds. They were beautifully kept. I really can't say anything negative about the grounds. I love that they have AstroTurf at most of the sites. We did stay in a premium pull-through, site 138 to be exact, and it was close to the pool, close to the walkway to the pool, close to the laundry and bathhouse there. So if you are able to get a spot near that spot, 138, and you want a premium pull through, can't recommend that enough. I do have one negative thing I will say, which isn't really a negative, but they do have, they're almost like seashells. It's not gravel that is around the AstroTurf at each spot. It is more of like a seashell landscaping. I don't know how, like what you would want to call it, but we did have a puppy when we were staying there, and we just had to make sure or be careful that he didn't ingest any of that. So that's something to, I guess, just be aware of, but it's easy to avoid and wasn't really an issue. Now I want to go ahead and show you guys some of the resort that I captured while we stayed there. So this was us pulling into the resort. There wasn't too much around the specific like Auburndale area, I will say that, but the grounds itself of the Camp Margaritaville Resort were beautiful. And honestly, they have food, they have events, they have tons of activities that I'll talk about soon, so you don't really have to leave if you don't want to. All right, and here is a map of the property itself. So we stayed in site 138, which I'll circle here. It's kind of closer to the activity or the main activity center that you see that I'll circle here. But honestly, couldn't have been a more convenient spot, especially being a premium pull through. Some of them, like down here into like spot 169, 168, 125, 124, those are going to be quieter spots, but they were a little bit of a walk from the activities, and us having an 8-year-old, we wanted to be close to that. So we made sure to get a spot close to the pool and the mini golf and a lot of other fun things that they had there. Honestly, if you were in the row from spot 147 to 169 and you stayed right around this walkway here, you would be very close to the pool and even into the next row. And the third row, if you stayed in spots maybe like 108 to 112 would be a really great central location. And then these are the back-end spots over here on the left. And these would also be very convenient too. These spots like 216, 215, 194, and all the way up that way. They had a beautiful pool. This is one of the 2 pools here, and we definitely enjoyed ourselves, although it wasn't heated as much as my husband probably would have liked, but tons of activities for kids, a playground, and this was one of the highlights of our stay. My son loves mining, and he absolutely loved the rock mining. There's many different types of bags that you can buy from their camp store. They have mini golf, which was a beautifully kept mini golf course there, and a beautiful dog park. We had a puppy, so he wasn't able to take advantage of that, but really well kept. This is a premium pull-through site like we had here. This was our site and how we had it set up. Again, the nice AstroTurf paved spot. And some of them actually you can request to get a cabana premium pull through that comes with this nice cabana, TV, and a little area to sit. These are the back end spots, and these are cabins that are fully furnished, and you don't have to have an RV to stay at Camp Margaritaville, which is pretty cool. And they do allow you to rent RVs and have them on site through RV Share, which is also really nice. There are some cabins that come with the cabana itself too. And one of the great things about Camp Margaritaville while we were staying there was this app. As you can see, there are so many activities. We did not run out of anything to do while we were there. My 8-year-old son absolutely had a blast. So if you have kids, I would say, even though it is on the pricier side, it's definitely worth it. They have a restaurant, which were okay, not great, but what you can expect from a Margaritaville if you've ever ate at a Margaritaville restaurant. So this was a really convenient way to just look up anything that you needed. You can also book another stay through the app as well. But overall, just had a really great time. It was a beautiful resort. Again, very well kept and not many cons. Again, the pool not being as heated. I think it was heated to, I'd say probably almost 80 degrees. My husband likes his heated pools like heated. So it was on the, I guess, chillier side some of the days that we were there. But for the price, I mean, for it to be an experience, I think was well worth it. Again, my son, he's 8, had tons to do. There's an activity like almost every hour on the hour for both kids and adults, and there was a good mix of people there when we were there. I'd say at least probably 50-50 of families with young kids and just adult couples that were there enjoying their time as well. So I think it's a good mix of people. Everyone was super friendly that we met there. They have bike rentals, they have golf cart rentals that you can do through the camp store. And we were there during the Super Bowl. They had a big event for the Super Bowl. We didn't end up going because we watched it somewhere else. But there is definitely not a shortage of things to do at Camp Margaritaville in Auburndale. Another thing to keep in mind is Auburndale is definitely like a smaller town. I know it's close to Orlando and really convenient for the parks, but it was definitely a little off the beaten path. There weren't too many restaurants, too much shopping, too much to do within really 15-20 minutes. You could drive like 20 minutes and get to the outlets or somewhere where there was more going on, but in that very close, vicinity around the resort itself, there wasn't too much to do. I think it was like 11 or 12 minutes to the nearest Publix, but there was like a Dollar General close by. So if you needed necessities, there were things to get them, just not an abundance of stores or an abundance of things to do around the area. So just keep that in mind. So that knocked a point for us. But overall, again, 4.4, 4.5 out of 5 stars for our stay at Camp Margaritaville in Auburndale. We had a great time. So if you're thinking about booking your stay there, I would definitely recommend doing it, especially if you have kids. If you don't have kids and you just want to go with yourself and maybe a partner, there is a more low-key area where there's another pool and it overlooks a little lake that's on property. So that is also an option too if you didn't want to be in the mix or over by the pool that had the water slide and all of that where all the kids are going to be. And there's another restaurant bar over at that pool as well. So plenty of options for any and all ages. We had a great time. If you're thinking about booking your stay at Camp Margaritaville Auburndale, I would definitely recommend it, and we recommend it here at Time to RV. Hopefully this was helpful for you. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments. If you've stayed at Camp Margaritaville in Auburndale, Florida, let us know in the comments and let us know what you liked about your stay there.